What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz the man, and I'm gonna just get straight to it. This situation, this topic has been very disturbing. It's been on my mind and on my heart and on my spirit for the past week and a half or so. And I've been trying to figure out the way to just digest it and understand, but I just can't understand. So for those who don't know, this situation is about Shaquella Robinson. There were a group of friends who went down to Mexico, including Shaquella, and somehow she ended up deceased at the end of this trip. These so-called friends came back home without her, supposedly brought her luggage, lied to her mom about what happened to her, saying she had alcohol poisoning and she was left behind, when the real result was that she was dead from a broken spine, according to her autopsy. The thing that's most, you know what, there's a lot of disturbing things about this, because even afterwards, a video was released of her fighting one of her so-called friends. I'm going to keep saying friends in quotations this whole video. It's because they weren't her friends, right? Anyway, there was a video of her fighting her friend, and when she didn't fight back, her friend was, just tossing around and all that. It was just disturbing. We all know the situation about that, but there is something that I want to talk about that I feel like has not been talked about. And I'm going to hold men accountable. I don't even want to use the word men right now, because the little boys in this situation were little boys, immature dudes. They were not men. In this video, I'm going to hold men accountable, and I'm going to talk about what real men do and what little boys do. What trash dudes do. The men in this situation were completely trash. So the first thing I want to talk about is, and just to let y'all know, I don't care what anybody thinks about my feelings on this, because this is something that I am so strong on, so serious on, when it comes to the responsibilities of men. And this is why I made this channel, to hold men accountable and to educate women in the same process. Let me get straight to it. Number one, there is no way you are a real man if you allow your female friends to fight in front of you. Let's get that out. There is no way you are a real man if you allow these women that you say you love, that you have this friendship with, to create beef, to entertain beef, to play out beef in front of you. I'm not saying that you are supposed to be a superhero and stop beef between your friends, because we don't have the power to do that, right? We can try, but we don't have the power to stop it. And sometimes some people don't want to get in between that because it's not their business and it can create problems, all that. But I will tell you this one thing. If I am in a group of my female friends and my two male female friends are fighting in front of me, there is no way I'm going to stand there and let that happen. Absolutely no way. You know why? Because I'm a real man. I can't explain to you how important black women have been in my life. From my mom to my relatives to my relationships. I can't explain to you the importance of the black woman in a black man's life. That's one. So if I have friends that I hold dear, that I have this utter and deep appreciation for, and I acknowledge their significance in my life, there is no way I will let them destroy themselves. There is no way I will sit there and let them damage each other. Because if I did, I am just as bad as them fighting each other, destroying each other. Real friends do not let hate seep into their relationships. And as a real man and a real male friend to them, there is no way I would allow that. The little boys in this situation are just that. Little immature boys that I hope and pray to God that they get justice and that they get thrown into jail for what they allowed to happen in this situation. And I'm speaking specifically to men here. But I want you women and ladies to understand and be able to point out the differences between men and little boys. And if you're in a situation or you're around a little boy, a grown sized boy, you need to get out of that situation. You need to get rid of that relationship, especially if you're looking for a real man. The dudes in this situation were not real men. If you find yourself in situations with dudes like this, who are holding the cameras, recording their best friends, their friends fighting each other, hurting each other, and saying, oh, why is she fighting back? You need to understand that they are not real men. It's not funny. They aren't funny. And if you are still in a situation with them, even entertaining what these little boys are doing, you are just as bad as them. So I want all the women to understand that. But I am talking to the hearts and souls of men out there. Grow up. Man up. Because I'm being truly, completely honest with you right now. That seeing these dudes stand there and let this happen, that truly hurt my heart, man. Because she was defenseless. She was basically by herself. They should have been the ones to stop that. As a man, that is our responsibility to protect our women. And they failed at that miserably. But they were never meant to begin with, because if you're going to ask me, I feel like they set her up. They brought her to Mexico to set her up. Because there is no way as a male friend, I'm going to go to Mexico with my friends and not know that there's beef between these two women. There's no way. Also, before the fight even begins, if you are a real man, you won't even entertain the dialogue of hatred. You won't even entertain the dialogue of threats, because you know when something's about to pop off. You're not stupid. We're all grown here. We understand when tension starts to build that something is boiling and something's about to pop. You know that, especially if you're supposed to be their friends. You know these people, so you know what's going to happen. You know. So the fact that these dudes entertained the conversation, because there had to be something that led up to this attack. They entertained this conversation. They probably played along with it. They probably hyped her up. Like, yeah, you should beat her up. You should. You're not a man. You fail as a man. You're, once again, a grown-sized little boy. Yes, I'm talking to you. Any man who entertains dialogue of hatred and violence, especially when it comes to our women, you are a coward. Because I want y'all women and ladies to peep game. I want y'all to peep game. If y'all ever are in a room with a man who is gossiping along with other women or whatever, just gossiping and running his mouth and not trying to bring peace to the situation or not trying to bring a solution to the situation, do you think that's the traits of a real man? Of course not. It's not. One of the most important and essential traits of a real man is to build. And that's why in all my videos about relationships with your friends and your girlfriend, your wife, or whatever, one of our most important traits is to build our relationships. It's to produce. It's to be positive. You see, all those things are additions. Once you are around a man who is all about subtraction, all about negativity, all about taking away peace, all about taking away balance, all about taking away you are in the presence of a coward. You are in the presence of a little boy, and he should be called out on it. That's what happened in this situation. Shaquella was by herself, not because her friends weren't really her friends, but it was because she had no protection, especially protection from the ones who should have been protecting her, which was her male friends. That is our responsibility as men, to protect our women. Simple, point blank. And ladies, if you are around males, once again, who show these weak, cowardly traits, do not fight it. Do not fight the perception. What you see is real. They are cowards. They are little boys, grown-sized boys. They are not real men. Simple as that. You heard it from your guy, Sealz. I just want to send my condolences to Shaquella's family. May her soul rest in peace. And I hope that each and every one of those friends who was on that trip, get punished accordingly to the max. And it still hurts my heart that there were men there that did not stop it. I'm holding y'all accountable in this video. And I'm sorry this video was not as upbeat and happy as my videos usually are, but the most important topics usually aren't comfortable. And you know me, I will talk about it if it's on my heart and spirit. So I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. And I will see y'all on my next video. All right? Take care, be safe, and recognize fake friends, and recognize your enemies in disguise. Be careful out there, all right? Peace and blessings. Goodbye.